Today in Alley Elementary, we would like to recognize all of our March Leaders of the Month. We are so proud of these students for their outstanding leadership in the classroom, playground, lunchroom, and also always displaying the 7 habits here at Natalie School. Today I will recognize each student in each grade level and tell you a little something about them. Starting off in kindergarten, we have in Mrs. Craig's room, Carly Pless, who's being recognized for beginning with the end in mind and putting first things first. Mrs. Craig said, "I appreciate Carly's mindset when it comes to her learning and work quality. She sets an amazing example for our class. Thank you, Carly, for being a positive light in our room." We also have Anthony Ramirez, who is proactive, begins with the end in mind, and puts first things first. Mrs. Craig said, "Anthony brings a smile to our face every day with his stories. The Reader's Digest version Anthony. I am proud of Anthony for his hard work. He's sounding out words, and he has made a huge jump. Great job, Anthony." We also have Maylie Morris in Miss Gabo's room, who is proactive. Maylie has really improved in her schoolwork and is always putting forth her very best effort. In Mrs. Guerreri's room, we have Jaden Foose. Jaden puts first things first. Jaden is a great example of a leader in our classroom. He always puts first things first when it comes to his school day. Also in Mrs. Guerreri's room, we have Sophia Bianchi, who sharpens the saw. Sophia is a leader in the habits of sharpen the saw. She knows what is best for her mind, body, and soul and helps others with that also. In Mrs. Parton's room, we have Lilly Folden. Liliana is being recognized for being proactive. Lily is a very kind-hearted girl. She is thoughtful and loves to help others. She works hard in all that she does. Her work is very detailed. We also have Anderson Smith. Anderson has had such a fun year in kindergarten. He has such a personality. He makes all of us smile. He has come so far this year. We are truly proud of you, Anderson. Keep up your great work. In Mrs. Dukowski's room, we have Noah Backer. Noah is proactive. Noah shows great work ethic in kindergarten. He is careful and is a great listener and problem solver. Way to go, Noah. We also have Olivia Varner. Olivia puts first things first. Olivia can be seen putting forth her very best effort on all of her assignments in kindergarten. Thanks for making learning your big rock, Olivia. Okay, moving on to our first grade Leaders of the Month for March. First, we have Mrs. Bowser's class. We have Ethan Durant. Ethan is kind to his classmates, follows directions, always puts forth his very best effort. Way to go, Ethan. We are also very proud of you. We also have Paisley Carol. Paisley puts forth her best effort and works hard to decide unknown words. Keep up the great work, Paisley. In Mrs. Carmichael's room, we have Connor Elliott. Connor is proactive and puts first things first. Connor is a very quiet but positive leader. He comes to school ready to learn and is an example to the others. Keep up your great work. In Mrs. Fiesler's room, we have Gracie Hughes, who synergizes. Mrs. Fiesler said, "I was in the hallway cleaning up a spill all by myself," and Gracie said, "Wow, that's a big mess. Do you want some help? Thank you for being so kind and showing how working together is better." Thank you, Gracie. We also have Violet Phillips, who is proactive. Violet has taken charge of her learning by reading at home, being honest, and doing her very best work at school, and also being proactive about growing her brain. Great job, Violet. In Mrs. Rector's room, we have Elijah Finley, who puts first things first. Elijah has been working really hard to put first things first. Upon his return from being absent, Elijah buckled down, did his best, and completed all of his assignments. Keep it up, Elijah. Also in Mrs. Rector's room, we have Paisley Belcher, who puts first things first. Paisley is a hard worker with a positive attitude. Keep doing your best, Paisley. Okay, here are our second grade Leaders of the Month. First, in Mrs. Grandin's room, we have Annabelle Lip. Annabelle is proactive. Annabelle is new to Natalie. She came right into our room with a beautiful attitude about working hard and making proactive choices. Mrs. Grandin said, "We are so glad she landed in our room just a few months ago." We also have Gianni Prinzo, who synergizes. Gianni is a great synergizer. Gianni is often chosen by his classmates to work together because of his willingness to be a good friend to all. In Mrs. Rankin's room, we have Emma Wallace, who puts first things first. Emma is a hard worker that continues to put first things first. She puts her nose to the grind so she can get her work done in order to go out to recess. Great job, Emma. Also, we have in Mrs. Rankin's room, Levi Johnson, who is proactive. Levi is beginning to show ownership for his daily work. Not only do I see improvement with his grades, he is becoming more confident within the classroom, Mrs. Rankin said. We are so proud of you, Levi. In Mrs. Slimak's room, we have Paige Milhone, who is proactive. Mrs. Slimak said Paige is such a hard worker. Even if something is tough, she keeps trying her best. Keep up the great work, Paige. Mrs. Slimak also nominated Maddox Smith, who synergizes. Maddox is a great team member. When working with others, he is always open-minded and respectful. Mrs. Slimak said I can count on him to work with anyone I put him with and value their ideas. Great job, Maddox. In Mrs. Van Dorsten's room, we have Brody Knox, who puts first things first. Mrs. Van Dorsten said Brody always puts his work first by returning all of his homework and getting his work done in class. Way to go, Brody. Mrs. Van Dorsten also has Caleb Hall in her class, who is proactive and puts first things first. Caleb works hard when he puts his mind to it. He is a leader in the classroom. Keep it up, Caleb. Okay, our third grade leaders of the month. We are going to start with Mrs. Braley's class, and our first student is Natalie Weisler, who is proactive. Natalie has showed improvement since the beginning of the year. She takes charge of her learning, works hard, and encourages others to do the same. Mrs. Braley said, I am very proud of you, Natalie. Also in Mrs. Braley's room, we have Carl Parcell, who is proactive and thinks win-win. Carl is a proactive learner. He often makes connections to topics and has an enthusiastic attitude when learning. Keep this attitude, Carl, so you can accomplish all your goals in life. In Mrs. Esterly's room, we have McKenzie Maldonado, who synergizes. Mrs. Esterly said McKenzie is a terrific help to all the students. She can solve problems and help students get along. She is a great role model. Also in Mrs. Esterly's class, we have Brady Cook, who puts first things first. Brady really cares about his schoolwork. He always gets started right away and continues to the end of the day. Great job, Brady. In Mrs. Stasnis's class, we have Skyler White, who puts first things first. Skyler was chosen this month for all the extra hard work she is putting into her schoolwork. Mrs. Stasnis has said, I am so proud of her efforts and how much she has grown this year. Keep going, Skyler. Also in Mrs. Stasnis' class, we have Easton Boyd, who thinks win-win and synergizes. Easton was chosen by the class as the leader of the month for so many reasons. He works well with others, loves to help, and is very confident and smart. Keep up your hard work, Easton. In Mr. Straub's room, we have Olivia Thomas, who puts first things first. Mr. Straub said Olivia has really turned herself around for the better. He said, I am so happy with the way she really tries to use strategies she has learned in math and reading. Keep up your hard work, Olivia. We also have Jaden Perry in Mr. Straub's room, who synergizes. Jaden has really been contributing positively to the class. He applies strategies and brings his experience to relate to what we are learning. Way to bring the lessons to life, Jaden. Okay, moving on to our fourth grade leaders of the month. Our first student was nominated by Mrs. Gardner and Miss Behrens, and that is Max Adams, who puts first things first. Max is a responsible, hardworking fourth grader and is a leader in the room. Way to go, Max. We can always count on you in room 120. Also, we have Cara Lee, who synergizes. Mrs. Gardner said Cara is genuinely aware of the needs of her fellow students. Whenever she sees someone that needs help, she is often the first to jump in. Way to go, Cara. In Mrs. Matson's room, we have Lucy Abbott, who puts first things first. Lucy is a go-getter. She does her work on time and tries her best to do it well. Keep working hard, Lucy. In Mrs. Oaks' room, we have Addie Backer. Addie is nominated for thinking win-win. Addie is so nice and friendly. She wants everyone to succeed. She doesn't put anyone down, and she is happy when others are happy. What a great role model, Addie. We also have Ellen Kish in Mrs. Oaks' room, who is proactive. Mrs. Oaks said Ellen is a real go-getter with a can-do attitude. She does the right thing when no one is looking, and she doesn't blame others for her choices. Way to go, Ellen. And finally, in Mrs. Toth's class, we have Sophia Graver. Sophia is just a perfect fourth grade student. She always puts first things first and always is ready for the day. Keep up the great work, Sophia. Congratulations to all of our Nolly leaders of the month. The entire staff here at Nolly is so proud of you. Please keep up the great work and outstanding leadership here at Nolly. Congratulations.